differences you've seen with Clark running the defense?
Yeah, when we knew he took the DC job, it was going to be a lot more detailed and a lot more stuff going in. Last year we kind of had some simple stuff that we made kind of difficult. Now with Coach Lee in there, we have a bunch of difficult stuff that they're trying to make easy on us, and just trying to the imagery he always gives us is like one of those wire boxes from the TV. Like often you look at it, it's like all crisscross and the wires are everywhere. He's trying to put a bunch of stuff in. There's going to be a bunch of wires, but they're going to be tightly compacted and neatly where we can pull from them where we need them. And it's the third day of spring, so that's not exactly where we are right now, but we're working there and it looks really good.
With you being a guy who's been here before, there obviously been some newcomers. Do you feel like maybe you could take a step as a leader?
Yeah, for sure. This is my junior year. Just try to be as vocal as I can. Just it's really about building those relationships with some of those new guys and building trust within kind of our defensive unit, and just kind of using my voice whenever I can, and really the leadership part just kind of falls into play wherever you are. Just trying to, as the mic backer, it's obviously something that's a little more easy, just because you got to kind of be vocal all the time and things like that. So yeah, for sure, I'd say falling into kind of a more leadership role.
Langston, can you talk a little bit? Take me back, I guess, to last fall. When you made the decision to stay. A lot of kids, in the transfer portal. London Humphreys, your former CPA teammate, when you transferred as well. Just talk a little bit about your decision, what went into your decision to stay and, commit yourself to Vanderbilt football, through the ups and downs.
Yeah, at the time, it was looking back on it, was certainly like a decision that I had to think about. But at the end of the day, Vanderbilt's my home, and Vanderbilt's somewhere where you get the best of all the worlds. You're in the SEC, playing SEC football, playing Texas, playing Alabama, playing LSU in Death Valley. Like, this is where you want to be, playing for Coach Lee. Coach Lee is one of the main reasons I came here. Him leading the defense, being a defensive mind, probably the best defensive mind coach in the country, and now him taking over the defense is a great step for Vanderbilt. But just Vanderbilt's always been my home, and knowing that we're gonna continue to push and continue to grow and continue to build this program into what we know we can be.
Did you have conversations with London a little bit about?
Yeah, I did. For him, it was just a decision that he said he had to make for him and his family. Just thinking about that, but we did our best to try to get him to stay. But for him, it was just, for him and his family, that's the best option for him.
Was there a thought in your brain at all in that process when you came back? Was there a thought in your brain of maybe going that route as well?
No, I wouldn't say there was initially a thought. You always just gotta take a step back and assess. But for me, I never really wavered. Through all my talks with Coach Lee and the defensive staff and where we were headed, and the money that's been put in this program by Candace Lee and stuff like that is really amazing, and how we're starting to able to get some of these guys and grow the defense and offense just into the best version that we can be. You always had to take a step back and assess, but really there was no waiver.
You mentioned, your conversations with Coach Lee. Talk a little bit about that, because you coming off of last year where you were among I think maybe the leading tackler on the team, but wasn't a starter. Did I guess the opportunities for you coming into this fall with the possibility of being a starter, was that a big motivation for you?
Yeah. It was two kind of older guys last year in front of me, so that was kind of tough to jump them, and I kind of understood some of that stuff. But at the end of the day, I wanted to start, and I thought I put myself in a position to start. So we obviously talked about that some, but really it was those guys have built so much trust, Ethan and Kane, and one of them's my brother, and I have the most love for them. So it was really just they built this trust. They've been in this program for much longer than I have, and I ended up playing a lot, and there was no complaints there. But just kind of continuing into this season, kind of stepping up into the leadership role and being able to guide some of the new players and some of the younger players.
Was last year the first time maybe you felt 100% comfortable in the role that you were, obviously a special teams ace as well, but was that the first year you really felt, because it seems like the play showed it, that you really felt comfortable in what you were doing, knowing what you were doing week in, week out?
Yeah, I felt like out there on the field, more comfortable playing SEC opponents week in, week out. I feel like the play kind of grew and stacked like on top of another to where the end I felt super comfortable just being out there, snap in, snap out.
Thank you. Thank you.